Well, hello, Coffee Time friends. What are y'all up to? We're up to lunch. And now we're a little late. We stayed at church a little later today. We had a great service. Thank you, man. Had a great service. It was wonderful. We're mixing up meatloaf. It'll be done, believe it or not, in about 20 minutes. We're going to put it in the Macro Pro Grill. Y'all been asking about it. Several people have been asking about it. What's that thing y'all use in the microwave? I'm going to show you today. Mama's party will be linked at the end of this video for her March party. We do one every month, and it's there for your looking and perusal. Tupperware is here to stay. There's not any plans. I know you've heard stuff, but they're here to stay. You can get your orders. They did go bankruptcy, but they did sell after they reorganized, so there's no change. It's all good. We have noticed a lot of people aren't buying, and I think a lot of that comes from the fear of, can we trust it? Well, we trust it. I will say that, and they've held true to their word. The new owners are doing good. Tupperware's been sold before. It's not the first time or the third time, I don't believe. But I'm going to tell you what's in this pot right here. Let's talk about this. So there is 1.5 pounds of chuck. We had 2 pounds to start with. We used some for hamburgers. We've done some other stuff. And it's 1.5 pounds of chuck. There is some McCormick's meatloaf seasoning in here. Ketchup and some mustard. Just a little bit of yellow mustard. And a dash of milk. About 1/2 cup of whole milk. This bread and the milk will combine to make it very soft. You can use crackers.
You gotta have egg. You want an egg?
Oh, Mom, can we afford an egg?
I think so.
Ooh, that's a high. We just now doubled the price of this whole meal. I'm going to throw an egg in here.
Oh, I don't think. I'm losing my voice for some reason.
You been screaming or something?
No, I ain't screamed.
Here's the egg. That's one country egg.
You reckon one will be enough?
Oh, Mama, we can't. Now, don't give me. Ooh. I don't know if I could take using 2. Now, we did put ketchup in here, and I am going to put just a little bit of tomato sauce. Just to get a little bit on the inside, and I'm going to use the rest of it on the outside. We haven't had meatloaf. Well, I can't remember, so I guess that's long enough. If you can't remember the last time you had it, it's been a while. Sometimes we stack our meals up. We may not have meatloaf for 2 months. Then we'll have meatloaf for 2 weeks in a row. Sometimes we do that with chicken livers or other things. It just really eats here, folks. We don't plan and all that. We used to plan out meals, and Mama used to plan her suppers around the lunches at school so she wouldn't be fixing the same thing. Now, I've not put any salt and pepper in this, and you know why. We just don't do that anymore. I could use some pepper. You want some pepper in here, Mama? Well, yeah, we gotta have some flavor. But you can use salt in yours. You can do yours however you want. But that's basically all that's in here. You can put a jar of salsa.
You want some salsa?
No, I don't want any peppers or nothing. I want this just our traditional, which is just hamburger meat, a little ketchup, a little mustard, salt and pepper, a little milk, and a little bit of bread. There's a fancy word for milk and bread when you put it in something like that, but the point of it is, it makes it. It helps as a binder, but it also makes it. That's that ice maker. We are going to find a new home for the ice maker. He's too loud for us. Me and Mama's are quiet people, and that thing is loud, ain't it, Mama?
Yeah.
Now, let me say this as product review. It's probably no louder than anyone else, than any of the others. But for just a roaring while we're trying to film. Right. If we weren't filming, we probably wouldn't even pay no attention to it. Now, I would never make a meatloaf traditionally this late. It's 1:38. If your meatloaf ain't in the oven, you're having it for supper. But we're going to have this on time the potatoes get cooked. Now, there it is, mixed up. I've not got a drop of nothing in this. This is the Macro Pro grill. Y'all have asked about it, I'm going to show you. So that's the Macro Pro grill. And this is the grill lid. Put it in there like that, and it presses down on it like a grill. It cooks from top and bottom. Turn it sideways, and it's like a casserole. So that's it. No oil, no nothing. You can buy a little fancy ring and put in here. But really and truly, I have used the ring a couple of times in demos.
It's little.
And it's good if you're going to
cook more than what the ring.
But like if we make cornbread in here, we make a whole pan of it. If we make meatloaf, you see what I'm doing. We make a whole pan of it. I am going to make up some Creole glaze today. Sometimes we just squirt ketchup on it. You can put that in there and let it be a little higher in the middle because your grill platter over here, you can mash it down with it, no problem. But that's all you do. Take this, put it in there, mash it down, put it in the microwave, and we'll stick that in there for 20 minutes, and it'll be done and good and done. And then I'll have my glaze ready for then, and we'll pour it over the top, and that'll be the day's work done on that. So how do you fix yours? Meatloaf, love meatloaf. I do too. We've not had it in a long time. And right now, I'm sitting here right now planning on meatloaf sandwiches tomorrow. Anytime I make meatloaf, I'm thinking ahead and I'm thinking, boy, that'll make some good sandwiches tomorrow. Thank you, Mama. Look at her. She thinks ahead of me. So into this pot goes the rest of this sauce. And I've not got anything ready. Not done any prep, so y'all are here live and in action. That could use a little rinse. A lot of times I prep a little bit, but sometimes it just ain't in the cards for prepping. So y'all have to just wait a second. Mama, can you sing or dance or something for them?
No.
No.
Did you put onion in it?
I did, and I put dehydrated onion in it, but I'm going to put real onion in the sauce. Okay?
No.
Alright, I think I'll just use the rest of this purple since it's open. I'll use celery. I don't need all the celery, I just need one stalk.
I've rinsed out your can for you.
Oh, you're a good one. You'll rinse off this one rib of celery. What do you call this, a rib or a stalk? I call it a rib.
Stalks the whole thing.
Stalks the whole thing, Mama told me. Mama said. Didn't you? Let me find no salt. And I can't find my little bitty cutting board.
It's in the second drawer.
Hand me one of them right there. I'll be fine. Brown sugar. That's what I was thinking. I thought there's one more thing I'm not thinking of. Just put what you want in there, Mama. Now, this is a Creole sauce. And you just cut up some celery. And I'm going to dice this up real fine. Going to take my time. Get these just little enough that I want them. And that matters, y'all. It matters. Now, just lay your celery, wash it. Pull your knife through it good. And I'm making this just tiny little pieces. Tiny little pieces. And you can even run your knife through that again. I don't string my celery. Didn't forget it. Just don't do it. A lot of people do. That's fine. I don't ever find a string. When I'm chopping celery for something like this, I never find a string. I've made chicken salad for years, sold it to thousands of people, I guess. I never string that celery. I've never had anybody say, your celery's too stringy. It's whatever your mama done, it's what's right. The only time I will string it is if I'm going to fill it. And people's going to be biting into it, uncut. That's the only time you really, I feel, need to string it. Because then you will find the strings. So if I'm going to fill it with pimento cheese or chicken salad, or if I'm going to put anything in it, sour cream and, cream cheese and some kind of something, I will string it if I'm going to fill it, but only when I fill it. If I'm serving it on a charcuterie board or something like that. But when you cut it like this, you're cutting the strings too. And there's some, I don't even like to eat it when it is strung. That'll be plenty. I'll eat that piece because I love good celery. I don't know why I don't keep celery in the refrigerator and just eat on it. Cut up in a bowl or something, because it's super healthy for you. And celery is a negative vegetable. In other words, when you're eating it, it takes more calories to eat it than you get out of it. So it's negative calories. I burn calories by eating celery, not gain. That's enough onion. And 2, it's going to get a nice fine dice. On this, you can use, I've never used an onion that wasn't good in it, white, yellow, or purple. If you're wondering why I call them purple onions, because that's what they are. If you want to call them red, but they're purple. They're definitely purple. I don't care what they told me. You can't tell me nothing. I don't care. I ain't calling it red. It's purple. I'll put it this way. If I bought a red shirt and it come out that color, I would be upset. And you just put a fine mince on them too. And that's as simple as it gets, folks. This is an easy thing to make for your meatloaf. It's absolutely delicious. You can make this for other things too. That's a little bit of that skin that's on. Mash it up real good. Cut it up real good. And there that is. So this is just a can of tomato sauce. I put a little bit in the meatloaf mixture, and then I've got a little bit here. This is some Tony no salt seasoning blend. Great on everything, and I agree. I'll get that, Mama. I'll get it. And I'm going to put a dash in here. You put it into this flavoring that you want. I, like most things, I just cover the top. This is no salt added. They do have it, folks, and it is wonderful. This is a little bit of Worcestershire. A little bit of Worcestershire sauce. And I'm going to put 3 good chug-a-lugs. Probably about a half a teaspoon. How much sugar are you thinking, Mama? Tablespoon. A teddy bear. One of them little terracotta teddy bears. They're over in that drawer somewhere. That sometimes the sugar does good without it. Sometimes it don't. So Worcestershire and Tony's and some onion, whatever you want, just enough. A good tablespoon of chopped onion. A couple of tablespoon and a half of celery chopped. Now, of course, if you're making 2 cans, you'll want to put a little more. Probably not double, but a little more. A little more. Now, this will stick and it'll burn quite easily because you've got brown sugar in it. But this is the Creole sauce, and we'll pour that over top. Put that over there on the stove. It'll be done about the same time the meatloaf, because the meatloaf will be done in 13 or 14 more minutes. Mama's already peeled potatoes. They're already on boiling. She's opened a can of Stokely's sweet peas. They're already cooking. The meatloaf, I just mixed it up and put it in there. I'm going to throw this Creole over there. Cleaning up my mess. Well, thank you, Mom. Mom, you're being quiet. Are you mad at us? You don't want to talk to us?
I'm just busy.
Am I using too much groceries?
Oh,
Are you mad over that egg?
no, I'm mad over
That was your idea, by the way.
it.
She's mad that I used the egg in that meatloaf, I believe. Celery! Celery. Do y'all like celery? I learned to love it. I love it with even not having any salt on it now. Salt is truly an addiction, I have learned. A little bit now goes a long way, and I can get really too much. Sometimes I think I got too much salt. What are y'all having? Love you both. Hey, Connie Miller. Have a blessed Sunday. Tammy, you too. Love celery. And a lot of people don't like it at all. Your husband doesn't like meatloaf? Cheryl. Then I'm going to say this. I tell this to everybody. He just ain't met the right meatloaf. Unless you just have an aversion to, well, to any meat, you can change meatloaf up enough that anybody would like it. You can make it into taco meatloaf. You can make it into Italian meatloaf. A lot of people have an idea of meatloaf in their head. Maybe their mama, their grandmama made it, and they just don't like it. But once you get it the way they do like it, then they'll eat it. Meatloaf is very versatile. I just wiped that.
Oh, you just walked it.
Yes, ma'am. Meatloaf is very versatile. You can make a lot of people happy with it. You can turn it to where it tastes just like pizza. You can make it taste like barbecue wings. All those statements are true. Now, where you're just eating plain celery, you'll learn into some strings. True statement. I'm going to show you what you can do with those. If people have to bite into them, you'll find those strings. That's the reason I string them. But, did you get my knife, Mama? I guess she did, she said.
No, yeah. Took it on the cutting board.
So where you have these strings, all you have to do for strings is take your knife, cut through the celery and leave the outer side, and then you just pull those strings right off and you discard that part. If you do that all the way across it, you won't have any strings, but you will have these big string indentions. Sometimes they don't look the prettiest. But then you can fill it with pimento cheese, cream cheese, whatever you want. Then when you bite into it, no strings. But if you're not biting into a piece of whole celery, and once you chop it up, There's no problem. I mean, not really. What's not to like about celery? Crispy, fresh taste. Anything goes with it. I don't. Rose, you've convinced me. I love it. She don't understand, she said. People just don't like it. Hey, Mama, how did the little train hear the big train coming?
How did the little train hear the big train coming?
Anita. Anita.
Yes, a little train hear the big train.
Anita, you reach for that. That's a good one.
I don't know unless it's the choo-choo.
Come over here, Mama.
Choo-choo.
Do you see a little woman in gray in there?
Yeah.
Now you do. Well, Mama, I'm gonna tell you this one. It's
Okay.
it's extra good,
Okay.
but it may be harder to get.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Mama, how did the little train hear the big train coming? He used his engineers.
Engineer. Oh, Lord, that is good.
Now, Anita, that's a good one. That's just flat good. I don't care who you are.
That was real good.
I just had cottage cheese with tomatoes for lunch. I don't eat beef at all, so I have never had meatloaf. I made one using ground pork, but it was not a fan of it. Try some ground turkey. That would be the second most natural thing to ground beef, but try ground turkey meatloaf. But Carolyn, that does sound good, and if I had good tomatoes, now that's where I come on. They gotta be them farm fresh tomatoes with cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese in a tomato with pepper. It's delicious. But I want a good tomato. I'm sorry, people. Lisa, I don't know what's going on. Good afternoon. I don't know. It seemed like maybe somebody said something. Don't worry about what people say, people. Just peel the string off lengthwise. Yeah, that's all you have to do. Stick your knife in the end and peel it lengthwise. Colleen. Oh, she's one that just, yeah, I know how to string it. I just don't do it. I don't care for meatloaf any way that you can think of. I hate the texture. Oh, Clarice, if it's a textural thing, you cannot like any of it. I can understand that. Now, I know about textures. Sometimes they're a little rough. Thinking of making the viral onion pasta my son showed me the other day. Well, I'll have to look that one up. Onion pasta. Just wonder if you've got another dog. Nope. No, Aunt. We don't have but just them two. Not really in the market for another one. Have you priced dog food lately? Good dog food? Them youngins eat good, don't they, Mama?
Oh, yeah. They've got more dog food on stock than I've got groceries, I think.
Mama thinks it's a little ridiculous that I caught the bucket. It's a metal container that's for dog food and it's got a lid. I keep one in and 4 out. But I got 2 grown dogs. I keep 4 bags and I mix their foods up. They get 2 kinds because they like it that way. How do I know? I asked them. They told me. If I feed them the same kind over and over, they start leaving it. They're like, again? And I understand that. So they get one kind and then I switch the bag maybe the next time to the different kind. They love it that way. By the time I get ready to go back to the other one, they're excited again for it. So I do that because I think that's the way they like it. But I like to keep 4 bags. I keep 2 of each kind that I feed them on backlog. When I pour one in, I go to the store, I buy another one. And that's how I do it. I just keep a good rotation. Because, heaven forbid, I couldn't get to town, or they had a shortage of dog food, or they recalled a bunch of dog food, or, well, I'd have to cook every day for them. You know, it'd be a big ordeal. I want to have enough. I probably will lighten up a little bit for summer. Probably won't be so, what do you call it? Picky. But in the winter, we could have weather that would keep us in for 4 to 5 days or 6 days. I don't want to ever be without puppy food. I'm same way with coffee. I keep a stock of y'all's coffee because I know I don't want to be without it. And I don't want the baby. And I've always been that way. Sierra, we kept her. Sierra she really liked food though. We always kept her a whole bag on standby. Maggie, we did not. One bag would do her long enough that I would just keep one bag for her. Maggie wasn't a big eater. And we didn't feed her any scraps or anything. It was just dog food. But now, Maggie would go a day or something and just leave her food. Sierra, she would eat a 2-gallon bowl full if you put it out for her. She had no quitting sense. So she ate all of her food, and so I always kept her one extra bag on standby because she'd go through it really quick. Maggie, I'd worry about her staying fresh. These 2 hound pups, ooh, they eat. Now they eat. And they get fed 2 times, 3 times, whatever depends on the day, depends on what they've eaten, and depends on how well they ate it last time. So if I go out there in the morning, there's still food laying there from the night before, I know they didn't really need all that, and I won't feed them. And I'll feed them the evening. But I do feed them earlier if I don't feed them in the morning. And sometimes Mama will feed them scraps or something we have. Now, they do eat a few scraps, but it's nothing that will hurt them or anything. And I know everybody has their opinions about that, and we ain't discussing that either. I've raised dogs my whole life. I appreciate it, but I ain't going to give them nothing that's going to hurt them. Somebody went crazy over some onions that was in something the other day or something. I got this, okay? I got my dogs. They ain't going to ever get nothing that'll harm their little bellies. So anyway, that's that. But they eat good. They good eating. They fat as mud. In fact, this summer, if they don't get out and run a little bit and play a little bit, they're going to have to go on a diet. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get in trouble when I take them to the vet. I already know. There'll be trouble. Because last time there was some raised eyebrows and a little bit of, do you know, she weighs almost 40 pounds. I suppose as I was carrying her in here, I kind of got the drift. She may be a little heavy. But they sweet. When we came home from church, they was doing, we call it the dead dog. They lay. And they won't move. They stretch out in the sun. You can pull in right beside of them in the driveway. In the beginning, it scared me to death, just to be honest with you. Mama was hollering at me the other day. You're going to have to come out here and check on him. He won't even come up to the porch. I've hollered and hollered. He just barely will raise his head up. I said, Mama, he's doing the dead dog. What? I said, that's what I call it, because he won't move. She won't either. You would think when they seen us coming, they'd jump up and go, they're home. No, they're like, you would swear something was bad wrong with both of them. They're lazy. So I went out there and took a weenie and showed Mama that if there's a weenie involved, he gets a little bit more excited than a... Jumped right up, didn't he, Mama?
Oh, yeah. He was happy-go-lucky.
And then ran off. Ran around the house. He was so tickled. Mama said, well, he had me worried. I said, see?
He wouldn't move.
I said, see, Mama? He's playing dead dog with you. He does me that way all the time. Now, Abby's a little less like... But she won't move when we come in anymore. She's just like, oh, that's them. I ain't getting up. It's sunny and pretty, and I'm enjoying my life. Hello from Cox's Creek, Kentucky. Hey, Miss Bonnie May Cook. How are you? Hello from Arkansas. Hey, Linda. Love Meatloaf having spaghetti with Jared sauce. Happy Sunday. Blessings to you both. Well, Marsha, that sounds good. I don't know what Jared sauce is. Well, I have to look that up. I'm making 10 cut pork chops with mushroom garlic gravy. Fruit stuffed and roasted orange glazed carrots. Wendy. How do you say your last name, Wendy? Wendy Diagardo? I probably murdered that because I'm from Tennessee and we don't know how to talk them big names. Diagardo? Wendy, we're going to have to talk. I've been cooking my whole life. And you've come up with 2 or 3 things here. 10 thin. Never mind. There's an H. I was like, what is she saying? 10. Thin. Folks, I can't see that good here, but thin cut pork. And that's mushroom garlic gravy. Is that a bought thing? Or has you got a recipe for that, Wendy? And then what is fruit stuffing and roasted orange glazed carrots? Wendy, we love us some carrots in fruit stuffing and roasted orange glazed carrots. That sounds absolutely delicious. Wendy, if you're on here still yet, a bunch of us probably like to see that recipe. That sounds delicious. You've made me hungry. Hey, Terry, thank you for those stars. Hello, Carolyn. I think the strings is why most don't like the celery. Could be, Jody. I don't know. I don't like water chestnuts because of the way they feel. And you can use leftover meatloaf for spaghetti, tacos, and soup, etc. and chili. Lisa, you can put, like you got meatloaf, which I use my leftover for sandwiches, meatloaf sandwiches. You can put a whole meatloaf in a pot of chili and nobody will know. And no ma'am, no sir, it don't taste like meatloaf chili. It just tastes like chili. It's very good. John, what is your real job? I love watching you, Mama. I have a real job. Somebody told me the other day, too, on here, to quit begging and get a real job. Quit begging and get a real job. I ain't begging. I ain't begging for nothing. We have Tupperware if you want to buy it. Tupperware is expensive for some folks. Some folks see the value in it and they want it. And they've asked us for it. So we'll continue to have it. But we're not begging nobody to buy it. Nobody. And if you want it, it's here just like that Micro Pro Grill. It's expensive. Because it's a good product. I mean, if it was cheap, they couldn't have enough demand. Supply and demand would be off and they wouldn't be able to provide them. But it is a little more expensive, but it's worth every penny of it to us. So we're not begging, and I do have a real job. Now, my real job has a clause that if we say what our job is on a video, or we put it on Facebook, or we do anything, we have to do a disclaimer that says the points, opinions, and views that I have expressed are those of mine and not of the job, and blah, and they can use anything on there as a disciplinary action against us at work. Now, I don't plan on doing anything that needed disciplinary action, but I just don't want to get involved with that. I can't even brown a meringue without burning it. You know, that kind of thing. If I'm broiling something, I have to look at it. I can't even walk away. So you think I'm going to remember every time we jump on here and do a video to post a disclaimer? You ain't been watching long enough. You know that ain't him. He ain't going to be able to do that. So, I just don't mention it. You wouldn't be like, it's nothing. I love my job. I love the people I work with. And I love what we do. But I just don't tell it on here. Now, people here locally all know. So it's a secret the whole town knows.
Move that Peloton over.
But I just don't talk about it on here because I don't want to disclaim every time. All right, folks, let's come down here. Look at that meatloaf. Does it brown, John? Yes, ma'am, it browns. Yes, sir, it browns. Does it brown on the bottom? It does. Is it done? It's done. 20-minute meatloaf. We made this meatloaf. I stirred it up with y'all. I made it with y'all. And now we're going to eat it. That length of time. That's why this right here is worth its money to me. I can fix pork chops in this. I can bake a cake in it. I can bake cornbread in it. Anything that I can put in a skillet, pan, on the stove and cook, I can put in here. Anything I can put in the oven and bake it, a casserole, anything, I can put it in here. I love it. Is that meatloaf rubbery and tough? Absolutely not. I wouldn't have made two. If it was tough and rubbery or any of those things, I'd have made one and said, oh, this ain't good for meatloaf. But we've made about 102 in it because we love it. Here's my Creole. Here's the Creole.
You want the thing over?
Yes, please. Thank you. Look back down here. So this is that delicious Creole sauce. Now, I'm going to put a little ketchup on here, mainly just to give that Creole something to cling to. It'll give it a little bit more richness and thickness. But what's this? Upside down and backwards. Here you go. See all that chunky goodness, deliciousness? It's going in there. And once I cut it, this goodness will run down the sides. It'll get in there, and when I put it up in the bowl, I'll dip all this out, put it up. It'll be there tomorrow. It's absolutely delicious. Now, this is all you have to do. It'll thicken. You can thicken it over on the stove if you want to. But there it is, folks. Delicious Creole meatloaf. That's the y'all pans. Have y'all got any of these? We love them too. We love Tupperware and we love y'all's both. Now you could put this back in your microwave and just heat this, but it's not necessary. Alright folks, we're about going to wrap it up here because we're going to eat Sunday lunch. Mama's going to, she likes to sit over in her place on Sundays and just sit and talk and just enjoy this meal. And we're going to do that.
Can't keep my...
So, we're going to show you what we're eating. There's that meatloaf, those beautiful peas, mashed potatoes, and Mama even made some French bread. Why not, since we got it?
Yeah, I don't want it to go to waste.
So we're fixing to bless it and eat it and sit here and enjoy it and chat. And I don't know what we're going to get into today. It might be a ride.
It's a beautiful day.
It's so pretty. We like to go around. This is how... And we live a little flashy. We're a little bit on that edgy side. Because, wild. We go around like today. We've already been doing it. We go around and look at the trees and see if there's any buds.
And they are putting out some.
Red buds. We're looking for red buds right now. It's time. And we think this is red bud winter. And we'll go out and look at the trees and the red buds and the Bradford pears are putting out. Real excitement like that. If y'all ain't getting into that kind of excitement, what are they doing with their lives, Mama?
I don't know.
We love a good simple ride. And somebody might have put up a fence. A lot of these women around here, they show off. And they put up the most beautiful wreaths on their doors.
What?
Some of them, yeah. And some of them hang, not the real ones. Ain't nobody around here that rich. They hang eggs in their trees. They're plastic. Nobody would, you can't really just hang your eggs out in this day and age. Mama loves to see what all they've done. And we get out and nose around, don't we, Mama?
Yeah, and I'm behind time. I ain't got out my flag yet.
We're going to get that flag out later. That's one of my chores today is hang up, Mama. You going Easter or you going Patrick's Day? Or
We'll
you
put the St. Patrick's Day out for a few
I figured
days.
that would be the thing. And we're going to hang a flag up. And what else, Mama? I got to find that ice maker a new home.
Yeah, that's what we're going to have
It's
to
too
do.
noisy for us.
I'm getting used to it. And I love
The only time I even
ice.
think about it is when we're filming.
I love the ice in it.
Mama's product review. Some of y'all was asking for them. She loves that ice.
I can eat a thing of ice in no time out of it.
She loves it. Y'all have a blessed day. Make you some memories today. Get out. Talk to someone. If you're home alone, you ain't got nobody to run around with, call someone on the phone. It's the next best thing. FaceTime them. Use that modern technology. Y'all have a blessed day. Have a wonderful meal.
That's right.
And we're going to eat and get into something.
Mm-hmm.
Just do something enjoyable and make a few memories.
Something funny and good. And
Mama can't look how pretty she is today.
oh boy, yeah! Just look at my
She can't look that
pink
pretty.
and gray.
And may not take her. She's even brushed her hair. Yin's a surprise.
I was out in the wind getting in and out. So.
We'll take her out on the town and shop her around this neighborhood and wave at people.
Yeah, that's what you do, is be friendly.
I bet these people in here think they are crazy and boring.
We are boring.
But we love it. We love it. Y'all have a blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow, Lord willing, and we will probably cook something. Who knows?
Or eat meatloaf sandwiches.
Oh, that's right. It may be a meatloaf sandwich day. Just come back tomorrow and check this out. Hope y'all are enjoying this new time, too. It's important.
Goodbye, Mama, and God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.